let me be blunt. Violence is a core left-wing value. You know, we've seen kind of the continued attacks on Elon Musk's companies. You know, and it's one thing to have the Antifa left out there doing that type of work or terrorism. But when you see the left do it in terms of the political figures providing aid and comfort and encouragement and incitement to the violent left, that's concerning. And, you know, these people can barely tie their own shoes. I had this one video of, because there were these hands-off demonstrations this weekend. I kind of I had to run an errand downtown here, and I'm driving, you know, it's like, what's going on here? There were all these marchers, and I literally did not know what they were marching about. I couldn't tell from the signs. I was just trying to get from point A to point B and get my weekend errands done. And it turns out there were all these leftists that had come to town exercising what are their First Amendment rights. But there was this video where this young man was asked about what the heck he was demonstrating for. Let's run that video. It is, what video is it? Video 9.
What makes Trump a fascist? What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews stuff. Like
Sorry?
He just doesn't. He just does everything he wants, and not following laws or he's a convicted felon. That's all I know.
But your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
One of the things is that he's trying to control the media, right?
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative.
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
They try to control their own.
So the big thinkers are even worse than, one young man, after I did the video, some people highlighted, and of course I, being oblivious relatively to that stuff, that poor kid was probably high as a kite. But the big thinkers aren't any more sophisticated. There's this, you've probably seen him, he's kind of a energetic character on TV. He's a far leftist lawyer activist, Elie Mystal, I think his name is. And he was talking about how essentially our constitutional system needs to be destroyed. Let's go to video 8.
South Africa got over apartheid. Did they just go back to their Afrikaner racist constitution and be like, oh, we just need a couple of amendments. We just need a couple of changes here to make it work? No, they threw the whole thing out and started again, this time asking everybody. Wow. This time having a completely new delegation of all of the people of South Africa, not just the white folks, but not no white folks. And they came up with a new constitution. It's one of the reasons why the South African constitution is generally thought of as one of the best constitutions in the world. And ours continues to be a piece of crap.
So what laws would you kick out immediately? What laws are you saying it needs to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, so the first one I have in my book is that I want to eliminate every single voter registration law.
So that's the left. Did you know the South Africa Constitution was the best constitution in the world, or one of them? I didn't. I do know South Africa is run by a corrupt Marxist socialist regime that, in order to expand and maintain its political power, is encouraging its citizens to murder fellow white South Africans and take their land. Murderous regime, but they've got a great constitution. That's what they want for America, that type of politics or revolutionary politics here in the United States. And then you have one of the most extreme members of Congress, Congressman, what is it, Jaya Powell? Is that her last name is spelled? And she's literally using, and listen carefully to her, because this is the sly, evil incitement of violence, encouraging people to put their lives at risk to be killed and kill in order to advance her communist revolution. Listen to this woman.
We might call This commie wants to kill people, a member of Congress. Listen to her.
Strike ready or street ready. And part of that is understanding our own strength, and as we develop that strength, being able to assess our risk tolerance, because we know that risk tolerance increases as the severity of the situation increases and as our own understanding of what's happening increases. So overall, the more we understand what's effective, what the risks are, and who's ready to participate, the more impact we can have.
That's a call for violent communist revolution. What's your risk tolerance? Incredible, incredible. Member of Congress. And it's not just an extremist head of the progressive left in the House. You have the leading Democratic Party, the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate, quite literally, Chuck Schumer, again, slyly encouraging, inciting, and refusing to denounce violence. Listen to this.
Senator, what's your opinion of the violence against Tesla, their products? What are your thoughts on that? Do you denounce the violence against Tesla products and dealerships and cars in the streets?
I can't talk about Tesla, but Elon Musk is a disaster for America, and America knows it. Look at Wisconsin.
Thank you, Senator.
So his refusal to condemn the violence, given an open invitation, quite obvious that he refused to take. And the suggestion is he likes what's going on here. And every major leftist politician has excused, condoned, explained away the terrorism by the left targeting Tesla owners and Elon Musk, a federal government official. So whenever you hear them complain about January 6th, just remember, this is what they're about. Unlike January 6th, where there was violence associated with the failure of security, violence that was one-off and the result of a variety of circumstances. There was no widespread political push for violence on January 6th from Trump or anyone else on the right. But you have repeatedly, by the left and political figures, an embrace of violence. Let me be blunt. Violence is a core left-wing value. It is essential to their political philosophy. They use it and rely on it as a tool. They don't use it all the time. It's either as a threat or a literal vehicle to achieve political power. And you see it time and time again you see it with Schumer. You see it with Jay Powell. You see it with the revolutionary on the radio or the podcast there earlier there, Mistel, who's on television all the time. You know, these leftists are out there, and who's funding them? Soros. I mean, the good thing about USAID being shut down is a lot of these left-wing groups and we've exposed how this has happened through our own FOIA lawsuits and such, were funded by the government. So there's this implicit violence with a lot of this protesting and support for terrorism in the Middle East and here at home. I mean, when you call someone fascist, you're basically putting a target on their back. You're using a word to justify killing them. Would you call someone Hitler? Same. That's why they use that language to target Trump and Musk and their supporters. It's to justify and encourage violence against them. That's what the left is about these days. And I'm going to stand up against it, and I'm going to call it out whenever and however I can, because it's the way our country could end if it gets out of control. And frankly, it's almost out of control. I'm getting myself angry about it, but it's really awful. It's a dangerous time politically here. And it's just, unfortunately, I think it's a matter of time before something really terrible happens. They tried to kill Trump twice already. These are dangerous, dangerous times. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.